Mark, it's great that you're here at COP26 in Glasgow. So tell me, Antonio Guterres has announced this moment as a make or break opportunity. What does that mean to you?
He's dead right. So for us at C40, it's all about what the mayors can do in the next 12 months to make sure they're well on track for their contribution to halving emissions by 2030. So I think we're going to see, seeing a lot of mayors going home with renewed vigour to push forward on the tough things they were already planning on doing, but make sure they happen very quickly.
And when you say that there's vigour and ambition and aspirations, what type of innovations or initiatives are we likely to see in the next 12 months?
Well, we heard the Mayor of Stockholm saying she's now to really accelerate the shift to electric vehicles. She's mandating it that there has to be an electric vehicle charging point in every public parking space in Stockholm. And most of the parking spaces are public. Or the Mayor of Bogata is introducing for the first time ever in Bogata charging for parking, so it never existed before, alongside tolls in order to pay for a big expansion, first ever metro line, conversion of all of their diesel buses to electric. Someone who's not here, but the Mayor of Seoul has committed, they are going to retrofit all of the public buildings, so improving the insulation, every single one by the end of next year, across the whole city.
And why are cities important? What is the motivation for you to engage cities? And what is the critical role that they can play in this transition?
Well, I've been working with cities on climate for, 20 years now, and it's a deliberate choice. I want to do wherever I think I can make the biggest difference on climate. And I see one real political leadership with mayors. They have been committed for many years to proper science-based targets. 1.5 degrees has been the condition of membership in C40 since 2016. So political leadership, but two, actually, although we need a lot more from national governments, they can't deliver their targets unless it happens in the big cities of the world, because the immediate action to change the transport system, retrofit buildings, put in the codes that all new buildings change the waste system, mayors control those kind of things. So they're the first line of action.
What needs to be put in place in the next 6 months to unleash that global potential of the C40 network?
Well, we do need a complete change in the way that climate action is financed. So, number one, looking for our cities in the global south who rely on an injection of investment from development banks in particular. At the moment, with one exception, there are no city climate programs. So they can't directly access finance. In fact, it's easier for them to get money for dirty, polluting projects than it would be to finance a nice, clean, renewable energy plant. So that has to change. But two, I think, generally speaking, a devolution of powers to cities, because if governments are going to deliver, then they've got to unleash the potential of all layers of government, and the cities are further ahead in their readiness. The one country where that is happening very fast, and they don't get the credit for it, is China. So if you look in China's national commitment here, they've set out in it what they expect, not only at the national level, the provincial level, and at the city level. And city governments have got far tougher targets than the average for the national.
And Mark, I want to ask you a personal question. Where were you born?
I was born in Birmingham.
Birmingham. And where were you brought up?
Burton-on-Trent in the Midlands.
Right. So now you're the chief exec of an organisation that has over 1,000 mayors. You're a very humble man, and you're always in the background. I see you at these events. And what is it that gets you out of bed in the morning, and what keeps you awake at night?
Well, what gets me out of bed is just the adrenaline I get from the dynamism of these mayors. You can see, in a very practical way, science-based, data-driven decision-making, but also they're beacons of internationalism. This a global problem like climate, it cannot be solved without global collaboration. It just hasn't been happening at the intergovernmental level. You've been there at our events. You've seen these mayors really get on, are really working with each of them working and learning from each other. What keeps me awake at night is just time, you know. I've been doing this for 20 years. It was a reasonable path for reducing emissions 20 years ago. Now it is really, really tough, and we just cannot waste any time at all.
Mark, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.